Paradise at time started 50 million, 10,008 years ago. So we get 10 tropical races with 10 tropical prickheads of the men. So if you go in the sauna with one Chinese, you can see his build completely different. His hut on the Ollon is completely different than one from Hindustan. And if you go to see one Turkish guy in his trousers, he looks completely different than one Necros. So we can figure out in the history these races from the prickhead of these men, because they are different. Now inside in Altlantis, Alt means old, land means land, and is means the ice. Altlantis per I ord. Altlantis period. Is one Uden thing. It's the arctical word. The arctical word started with the ice who become one calotte on the top of the planet, and in same time we get one gulf, like the golf ball today. One stream who go through the English Channel to the Gulf of Norway, Oslo, and down to Germany and reborn into the Gulf of Finland. And in this Gulf of Finland, this Gulf stream started to make one rosette of hot water, who create one hole in the ice, and possibly for us people to stay in 50 million years without to have any contact with the 10 tropical races. We Arctical people, we created with our blue and green eyes, with our blonde hair, in one period of 50 million inside in the ice, where the fire for us became number one. The fire has always been number one, is one part of Uden, because with fire we can heat up water, and with hot water we can take out the mahla from the leaf. And without the mahla from the leaf we couldn't exist in the paradise time. So without fire we couldn't take out the mahla. So of course fire is number one. And especially inside in the Altlantis, the fire become the one. And there we get one house called Saab, U, P, R, and T. Savupirti. And Savupirti is one square box with one hole in the roof, one hole in the wall, and one door. And in the middle of this room is the fireplace, the herd, Hemmets herd. And around this fire we was living, and we started to grow, because we get one new kind of nature gift called pine tree. And the pine tree is dying by itself after 300 years or 200 years, and every time one pine tree dies, it's leave little bit earth, jord here. Because this planet was before only bedrock, sand and water, but later on this jord has been arriving. When the tree is dying or the leaf is falling down, it comes more of this And now we could be viljelijä. We could grow the inside in Altlantis period. When the paradise time we was eating only fruit, and have bread we must have been having the seed of the bread, but not so much as we had to create in one cold climate inside in the Altlantis. We get the domestic animals, the klövdjur, the pig, the sheep, the cow, the chicken, and they are all arctical animals. Because today you can put up one chicken, one cow, one pig and one sheep in the arctical Lapinmaa today, and there is 30 degree cold in the winter, and in the spring if this animal still is there, they are all arctical. But if you put one giraffe there, he will die for sure. So you are sure that giraffe is tropical. Now this domestic animal is made for us to eat. What was completely new thing here in this, they never heard about such a thing in the tropical. So to eat meat, it has been created in one period of Altlantis. The Altlantis period was going on in 50 million, and after 50 million years, 10,008 years ago, the Gulf Stream had been eating on the Norwegian coast. So now when the North Sea become opened, and when the North Sea and the fastland opened 10,008 years ago, the whole ice started to roll, and it rolled and took all these stones with them, so they become round stones called hiden kirnu in Van language, jättegrytor in Rot language. When all these stones rolled with this mass of ice over Altlantis, smashed it, and all the stones go to Estonia, and on Estonia is still all these round stones from that what happened 10,008 years ago. But 10,008 years ago, Raphael and Sarah, with the 7 daughters and 7 sons, had gone to Bockland. And Bockland is today called Gotland, Goatland, with Lummelunda Grottor, and inside in Lummelunda, there these people could go with their domestic animal and their seed. And from there start the story about 1,000-year period of when we was living in Gotland and Öland, we Arctical people. And from 9,008 years ago, Ukko-Akka, Lemminkäinen Joutsen, Seppo Maija is moving back to Uudenmaa, to the new building called Raasepuri, what was ready for the winter, because it was winter castle, what still exists in Finland, who was ready already 9,008 years ago, when the 9,008 years ago, when the family was moving back to Uudenmaa. But same time, 2 boys, one called Sven and the other one called Dan, they moved over to the west, and Sven he became king in Uppsala, and Dan he became king at Julland. And this king and queen has the same system as the 10 tropical races. The first son of Sven become crown prince. The second, third, fourth, fifth become hertig. Hertig av Norrmannaland, hertig av Södermannaland, hertig av Östgötaland, etc., etc. And every hertig, what is the son from the king's sperm, get one hertigdöme. In the hertigdöme, this hertig is making the jarl woman pregnant, coming out jarl boys and jarl girls. The jarl men is making the Carl woman pregnant, coming out Carl girls and Carl boys. And the Carl men is making the trail woman pregnant and coming out trail girls and trail boys. Exactly in the same system, with the same language as from Uudenmaa. Referred over with Sven and Dan, who become like svenskarar and danskarar with the language from Uudenmaa, who created 112 system language outside of Uudenmaa. The 10 system language is the Vaner, living from Torneo to the border of China, Peking, to the border of Narkasul, and to the border of Sultan. This is the Sultan, Narkasul, and Peking are the border to the Piruet, Ruset, Jarlet, Karlet, and Trelet people after the ice time. When Sven and Dan is going to the west and creating very quickly the island group outside of Norway to be one culture. With the Arctical people, with the same language root as the root language we communicate on this tape at the moment, it's a language called English, Enrique language, what is created outside of Norway on one island group about 9,000 years ago. That's the people from Sven. The people from Dan become the Middle Europe. So the Middle Europe people is mostly with blue and green eyes, Arctical people, original from Altlantis, going out to Bockland, Öland, become Sven and Dan sperm lines with king and hertigdömen with jarlet, karlet and trellet. Same in Sven and Dan going out to the west and populating also with the same system the island group outside of Norway with two king, one from the line of Sven and one from the Dan, who also is making children. Now two different children maker kings existed on the islands outside of Norway. Now, when you see this, that we have now 3 Arctica, et, and 10 tropical, et. Now all the tropical 10 has different prick head, and also the 3 Arctical has different. So if I go in sauna in Russia, we look exactly the same, this mushroom form. But if you go here, it's one spool form. It's completely different. So from there, I can go in one sauna with British people and I can look and see one of them coming from Sven, other one coming from Dan, and I come from myself. The year 862, one man called Rurik created one et more called Linga et. The et from Sven in Uppsala was called Ynglinga et. And 862 Ynglinga et divided in one sideline called Linga et. With king system, 862. The year 987, Goldarike Rusland became Greek Orthodox, with the head, the Sultan in Constantinople as the head. With the written system, the same as going out from Rome, who 1008, the Swedish king, became crowned by the bishop. And that result was that the trail people making children with the trail people, the car people making children with the car people, and the yard people making children with the yard people. And with the religion, this whole old heathen system of Allfather was away. 987 in Russia and 1008 in Sweden. But up to 1050 in Finland, we had one Allfather. We had one man who could say, I am the father to all the Finnish people who live between Tornio River and the Vane River, Neva. Up to 1050 in Finnish history. We was the last. 1050 we come attacked 24/7, 1050 by one Swiss army led, planned by the Pope. And they destroyed Udenmaa 1050 and Sepoimaja, Ukoakka, they escaped to one place called Korvatunturi. And in Korvatunturi they become very, very famous because they go around with one sled with 8 reindeers. And he was the father Krist, Mes, Baba, Natal. Babu means father. Père means also father, like Père Noël in France. And Diet Maros in Russia. This man, this Ukko, in this mythology, he is the man with the red and white top hat, who everybody knows going around with 8 reindeers in Lapinmaa, who get over 500,000 letters every year from people on the planet sending to him. He is the Allfather from Freya. He is the main figure, and still he is the most pictured figure on the planet.